Yes, ma'am. Special Environmental Services and Public Works Buildings Committee to order. Would Justice Thomas Anderson like to say a quick prayer, please?
Let's pray. Turn to God in heaven. We come this evening in the name of Jesus. Thanking you, Lord, for this day, morning we've never seen before. Now, Lord, we come before you asking that your blessing on this meeting and the things that we discuss tonight will be pleasing in your sight and in the best interest of the county. For in Jesus' holy name we pray and thank God for all things. Amen.
Amen. Say the pledge, please.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're here to discuss property purchase. Judge, would you like to enlighten us, sir?
Yes, sir. So we are a member of the Courtyard Plaza POA, which is directly across Washita Street from the sheriff's office. Hot Springs Title is in there. We actually have a law library in there, and then there was a space that we're going to discuss tonight that was used for a meeting space. It belonged to Renee Williams, and it was used for meetings. You could rent the space, you could rent however much you wanted. Just divide it into a fairly large meeting room, several offices. There's two bathrooms in it. There's a small area that you could have a small refrigerator, and it's got a sink, and then there's another large office on the back. So when we were notified last Friday that we had first right of refusal on it because it was coming up for sale, we have 7 days to respond to that, and we responded today that we intended to exercise our right of refusal. The bylaws of Courtyard Plaza states that you have to pay whatever a bona fide offer, the language says bona fide offer is, and they have an offer of $250,000. It's about 1,500 square feet, the best I can measure. So it's roughly $160 a square foot. It's in very good shape. John and myself and the prosecutor visited the site yesterday. It's in excellent shape, new flooring, everything's updated. Everything appears to be in super shape. So we already have money in the budget that we can utilize to buy this property. I just wanted the blessing from the department here, the board that oversees our buildings. So that's basically what I'm asking for tonight. And then we will deliver the message in the morning that we are prepared to move forward with it. We plan to move some of the attorneys from the prosecuting attorney's office there. That's what she said she wanted to move over there. I think she's got 10 attorneys total, since the state gave her 2 more. So we will be moving part of them over there, so they've got some breathing room in her office. I don't know how long it's been since any of you, the prosecuting attorney's office, they're basically sitting in each other's laps in there. So this is an opportunity in my eyes to pick this up. It's already ready. It's already officed out just like she needs it. I don't think we could find a better fit for it this close to the courthouse, and it's very close to as well. And she has some attorneys that work in the district. So just wanted to bring it in front of you guys. She was going to try to be here this evening, but she was tied up. I know she was in her office when I left.
Make a motion to accept, adopt, move forward, whatever it needs, whatever the motion needs to be. Second.
Okay.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Okay. So tomorrow we will make them aware that we're ready to make the purchase, and then we'll move forward.
I got one question. Is there a dedicated number of parking places?
There is language in the bylaws that say you get a percentage, and I can't remember if it's got a dedicated number. But it's parking in the back there, and then of course we have the parking lot right across the street, and then we complete our parking down here, and we'll be moving the sheriff's office off of there. But we've got some parking that is dedicated to the law library, which we already own, and it's intermittently open, and usually there's a couple people there, so not many vehicles.
Safe to assume it's ADA compatible.
Yeah, it's a POA, so all the HPR, so all that stuff is taken care of back there in the rear. It's a very nice facility, and they've done a good job of keeping it up. It's got a little courtyard in it, and it's all covered from the street end, so it'll work very well. And like I say, this facility is already set up with a keypad entry. It's got an intercom system where you can talk to the people in there before gaining entry, and so it's pretty secure for what we need it to be for.
And it's pretty convenient. It's not like there's any other space we could put them in right around here right now. So I think it's good. I think it's a good find and a good move on your part, Judge, and exercise that today.
Anything else? I'll try to answer any questions. Yes, sir. More than likely, the attorneys will continue to park here and walk across the street to the building. It's basically, when you leave the parking lot here, there's an awning that comes out of an opening there, and you go up in there, and that's where it's at.
Yeah, and I agree with Justice Owen. I've been to closings at Hot Springs Title. There's usually multiple parking places open there, just about any time of the day. So we should be good to go.
It's very difficult to find anything close to the courthouse that you can put attorneys or people of that level that have to do with the courts in, because they're utilized. Everything that comes up for sale is bought usually by an attorney to try to put an office in, because it's very convenient for them. So we hope that this will work out well for Michelle, and it will give us a larger footprint in that HPR.
Any other discussion?
No comments? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Adjourn.
So since the motion is adjourned, I've got one other thing. We can't really talk about anything during the special meeting, so afterwards I wanted to bring this to your attention. I made a trip last week over to the Masonic Lodge to look for a senior center, and it's laid out pretty nice inside as far as space, but it's going to take a lot of work to bring it to what we need. Right now, they've got a pretty high asking price on it, so I'm having a roofing company go Friday and check the integrity of the roof. I've had Harrison Construction go in and look at the interior, see what was load bearing walls. I'm going to visit with Mike Harrison at Harrison Construction, but my time is so limited. I would like to have a collaborative group from the Quorum Court. I'm going to try to put a committee together to try to locate someplace to move a senior center or look at building a new one. We have looked for 2 years, I guess probably a solid 2 years looking, and there is an opportunity, I believe, to obtain some land from CHI. We won't know till we get further into it. We could build a facility out near CHI, maybe hopefully get a donation or form a long lease on it or something like that and put our facility out there. But I would like for this committee to study that, see if there's some other building we're missing, and then maybe in a couple weeks, bring a report to the court when we have our Quorum Court meeting in September. And Justice Myers, if you would, since you are a realtor, if you would head that committee up, and I would put Justice Hunter on there since he is head of the buildings. Debbie McGrew, since she's not here tonight, she's going to be nominated to do some legwork on that. Jimmy Young, he's not here, so he's going to be nominated to do work on that. And since Ed Dixon doesn't have anything else to do, I would like her to have some input in it as well. I want to make sure that we are canvassing everything we can. I might be missing something. We're looking every day for a building that's for lease or empty sign on it, and we're having one realtor that delivers things to us. So if I can put this committee together, then they'll have a little bit more of an opportunity to look. I know David's got access to MLS, but I'm to the point where I believe that for the longevity of it, we would be better off to build a new one. And my thoughts on it are, you can shoot bullets at me or whatever y'all want to do, but my thoughts are 1.5 mils for 1 year would raise roughly $3.5 million. The county has already said we would put in 500,000. The city has said they would put in 500,000, and I believe we have another group that will either get close to that or do that same donation. If we had, I'm getting some hard numbers what it would cost to build a new facility, but if we had $4.5 or $5 million to build a brand new facility, we could make it state of the art. The maintenance on it would be much less. The operations of it would be much less, and we could locate it in an area where it would be able to be used by more people. I don't know, everybody doesn't like taxes, and Susan and I are whittling on the public safety millage as hard as we can. We think that we're a little lower than 1 mil for the first year, but it's just something to think about. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about it because I get about 4 calls a day asking about the senior center. But I did, as I told you in the last meeting, I did go to Pope County, pick up their plan. I gave him to Mike Harrison. He's reached out to some subs, and we'll have a pretty hard number as what it would cost to build one. Theirs is a very nice facility, from what I understand, and visiting with Area Agency on Aging. It's set up well. It's got a large area for all their effectiveness programs that they have, and it's also got a large commercial kitchen. So the first priority, of course, we're working hard to try to find someone to take over the Meals on Wheels programs. Between 450 and 500 people a day will be missing meals after December 31st if we don't have something. But I know it would probably be a year out to get a facility like that built, but I think if we can find somebody to help us in the interim to do the Meals on Wheels program, that our seniors will certainly be excited about it. And at some point in the future, 50 years down the road, if they decide they don't need that, it certainly would be marketable to have a 10 to 15,000 square foot building near a hospital. If we could locate it there, I mean, there's no guarantees on that, but I'm certainly going to work on it. It certainly would be a marketable item, knowing that I believe it's probably going to cost us between $300 and $350 a square foot to build it. At that time, depending on the economy, and I mean, I can't see it going that bad over the next 50 years, but it would be a windfall, somewhat like the sale of the Washita Hospital was at one time, if they decided to part with that. I just think it would be a better move. And every building we've looked at has had some drawbacks to it. The closest one that we found to what we needed was the old Quapaw Center up here, but it was 32,000 square feet, and cost of operation for that would be extreme, just utilities alone.
Right. Judge, I'd be happy to do that. I know you've been working your tail off trying to find something. Look at this building, this building, this building. We just can't seem to find the right place. I'm like you. I've come to the same conclusion that we probably need to build something, because you've looked at every building. I know I've searched looking for buildings. I can't find anything myself. So obviously, 1.5 mil for 1 year, if that would fund it, that'd be great. Or if we can look at private donations, someone may want to come in and donate some money. You never know how the funding might happen. Obviously, that's a huge discussion, but I think it's time that we realistically make a path forward and just look at the cost that it would take to make any of these buildings that we're looking at suitable for a senior center. By the time you do that and buy the building in the first place, you're probably looking at the cost of building a new one. So let's just do the one a little bit nicer, build one. I share the same opinion as you on that. I think it's a good move on your part. And it sounds like I might need to take a trip up to Pope County and look at theirs, so I have an idea of what we might can.
Yeah, they've got a very nice room, and in visiting with Kathy Packard, who's working. She's with the Oakland area on aging, Oakland Agency on Aging. She says Maumelle has a very nice one as well, and Maumelle financed the same way we're talking about doing the building. Next Monday night is a Quorum Court meeting. Kathy will be. I'll also have Barbara Flowers here from the Area Agency on Aging, who oversees the senior center. They're actually the ones that provide the grants. So we're going to have a little discussion before we get started. Not Quorum Court meeting, but public health, welfare, and safety. So I would encourage everyone to come next Monday if they can. I'll have both of them here to try to give out some information on what it's going to take and what they believe they can do in interim. I know that both of them would be super excited if we move towards building a new facility. And if we make that decision and we decide to go that route, then like Justice Myers said, we can look for donations. I don't mind to go ask. We've already got $1 million from the city and the county. I want to do as much as we can for the seniors as we possibly can, because this is going to be the only facility that is operated by the area agency on aging if the grant goes to it. And so Barbara Flowers, she's the director of that, and she'll be here Monday night. Any questions you have, you can certainly direct towards her. But after I visit with Mike Harrison this week, each of you that I've asked to be on this committee tonight, Esther, you're going to be able to help us with that. I'll get some numbers to each of you, and so you can kind of take a look at it and get some idea of what we're looking at putting together.
I know you've appointed the committee, but just so you're sitting over there, if you want to join the committee with us, be happy to come on, because I know you got a little civil engineering experience. Only if you want to be. Okay, that sounds like a good
Yes,
advice to me. How about that?
That's a yes. And this will be an advisory committee only. It won't be able to make any decisions as far as government operations. So, but I'll get some information out to you just as quick as I get it, because moving into budget, Susan's plate is pretty full. Susan's more than mine right now. But it would be very helpful to have more eyes, more ears on the street that are looking at these and looking for these. So once I get some information back from Harrison, I'm not saying we should not even look at Sonic Lodge, but to me, the price would need to change, and then we would need to have a definite path to move forward with it. I'll have a report back. I've asked for an integrity report from the firm that's looking at the roof. We'll have something in writing that says, the roof's only been on there since 2014, but I know we've had some significant hailstorms since then. So I want to check and make sure that it's all taken care of. HVAC, one of them's about 10 years old, one of them's about 15 years old. It does have a commercial kitchen that will have to be enlarged in it. It's going to have some bathrooms added, but it's got plenty of parking, and it's going to be easy enough to fence where it would not be. There's actually 2 buildings. One of them's leased out, and then the other one is a large one. It's about 11,000 square feet that we would be looking at for a senior center. Thomas, you look like you got a question.
I was thinking about the 1 meal that you talked about.
1.5.
Yeah, tell me about it. Is that going to be what we already got?
So it would be, yes. So if we did, Susan and I have been working trying to squeeze down exactly what we're going to need for public safety. I think that it's probably going to hit around 6/10 of a mil rather than a mil to do the hires that we did for public safety. But this 1.5 mil would be on top of that for 1 year. So basically, $30. I think they said $20 on 100,000. So $30 for 1 year on $100,000 assessment, and then it goes away. It would build a new facility, a brand new facility. Yeah, and the homestead credit goes up to $500. But it's about Thomas. I don't see a way to build a new one other than to do something like that. We certainly don't want to incur any debt that would encumber the building or encumber the seniors. But if we're going to build a new one, that's a pretty easy way to do it. And it's property owners here, it's seniors that live here that are going to be using it. I don't think we're going to have visitors coming from somewhere else to use it. So I think the property tax would be the better way to do it rather than the sales tax. But nothing set in stone. It's just idea.
There's plenty of discussion that can be had, and you never know. We might something crazy might happen, and $3 million might year. You never know. But,
Absolutely. And if you find somebody willing to donate that, we need to hold them hostage.
well, I'll talk to the Pope and see what I can do. But but Justice Anderson, I get where you're coming from. We've obviously there's been a lot of controversy around the tax that we've pledged to do in November, and I want to do is have us to have to do a tax. So I think everybody here hopefully shares the same opinion. We'll try and avoid that as best as possibly can, going with that approach, and maybe there'll be some other type of way we can fund it. You never know. That's a long discussion, and there's a lot of input from the people out here in the public that we're going to need to hear from. But hopefully, since the senior citizen or something that's going to all of Garland County, it'll help the city, especially if it's located at CHI St. Vincent. That's about as located as you can get to the people, except for everybody out in the village, and they got their situation taken care of out there. So I think that site would be great. Masonic Lodge, if we can make that work, that'd be great. But obviously, if we do the Masonic Lodge, the millage, there would be no need for that
Right.
1.5 mil. So
If we decide to go the route to build new, we'll need to know relatively soon so I can at least reach out to CHI and give them a proposal.
Right.
And because it takes a little while to get anything back from them, especially if they have any turnover. They actually state division. So Dr. Ross has told me that he would certainly go to bat for us if we wanted a piece out there. So I think that's a very good location to be centrally located where everybody can get to it. Healthcare services around there certainly would be easy to get down there to the facility for wellness checks and things like that. So it's nobody wants to see tax. I don't either. I don't want it on any of my property, but it's temporary. It would
1 year.
1 year. And we'll see what we can come up with, and it may not be 1.5 that's needed. I may get numbers back from Harrison this week and say, hey, I think we can build this for 250 a square foot. I doubt it. But there's, we always might see that. And if we do, then we can certainly go back and maybe we just do 1 mil or something like that and or ask for some more donations. So there's a lot of options here, and I believe there's a lot of opportunity, but I don't want to rush to put together a senior center and wind up with something that's not nice enough for our seniors. And I'm already there. Me and Thomas are already there. I don't know about anybody else here, but we're already there where we can probably utilize it and have a nice one. But it's you spend your entire life working to get to your golden years, and I think that we need to provide as nice a facility as we can.
Yeah, I don't think anybody. I know you get the phone calls. I think us justices get them too. I don't think there's anything this community wants more right now besides maybe making sure we save our library, but getting a senior center. I mean, those two things are what the community wants. The community's telling us that, so it's our job to do that for the community. Let's get it done.
Okay. Well, I'll reach out to each of you with whatever information I get, and then we'll see if we can find a place to put it or figure out a way to put a new one in.
Let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Meals on Wheels thing. Come December 31st, if we don't, how would that be financed to continue that?
So the Area Agency on Aging is the pass-through group for the federal funding that operates that Meals on Wheels. And so what has happened, Larry Williams can tell you, he's on, I guess you're still on the board of the Area Agency on Aging. So we are, the surrounding counties where CADC was operating the senior centers and the Meals on Wheels program. When CADC quit, there was quite a bit of panic, but I believe in visiting with Larry Williams that Area Agency on Aging has picked up those programs to run either temporarily or long term. Larry, if you got a little information about it, actually sits on the board.
Montgomery County, Judah, County, and chance of doing something, but the have they ceased those operations And the area agency on aging will then take over the operation of those senior centers. We're not, no, we're not like on the others where we contract with providers. We're going to be the provider of the service. And you know that Art has put out a request for proposals on these. But you know, that's part of what the senior citizen centers provide. And I would say, I'm not trying to get up the committee, but I have to increase senior citizens. One, Russellville, Polk County is county senior citizens. But there's not enough to do. But it has been long.
From the plans, it was built in 2005, and then it's had a couple of additions since. So once we get some pretty good numbers from Harrison back, we'll know about what size we want to try to build. And of course, the size of the lot that we have would also play into that. But Thomas, the answer to your question, the flat out answer is it's not going to stop operating. The Meals on Wheels is going to continue one way or another.
I just wanted to know who was going to fund it should that happen.
Well, the funding comes through. It's a federal program, and it comes through the Area Agency on Aging.
And then it's channeled down to AAAs throughout the state.
CHI had the contract here forever. I mean, I can't remember when they even started it, but they gave notice that they would no longer do it after December 31st. And that triggers the ability of the Area Agency on Aging to be able to go out for an RFP and get proposals from people that wish to provide or operate that program.
Two of the things that I would say in regard to a temporary tax, when I was in the city board, we did levy a temporary village for 2 years to purchase that communication system. But it was a temporary. It's not without precedent. I can't see anybody not wanting to do it. Another thing is, who's the judge up there now?
Ben Cross.
Okay. Predecessor, Jimmy Gibson, my career. Jim Ed swears that they built that senior citizens already.
Yeah, that's stretched pretty thin.
Anderson, for one sort, he would tell me.
He had been actually, they're building Pope County owns their own ambulance service as well. They operate the ambulance service, and so they're building a new facility to operate that out of. And that's when he told me, he said, well, we just took bids for, and it's $350 a square foot for basically a place to operate an ambulance service out of. It's not a hospital. It's just, so that's probably what we're going to be looking at here, unless we get some donations or something, in-kind labor, something of that sort. But yeah, Thomas, it's not going to quit, but we have to make sure that we've still got some place to prepare the meals, which right now they're being prepared at the McCauley Center at Hot Springs Village. And I don't have confirmation whether they're going to try to keep that open for a new provider to use or not, because that's actually CHI property. And there's some equipment that will convey as well from in that building. And I don't know about the rolling stock that they have. They have several trucks that they deliver with. And I don't know how many of those are actually owned by CHI or owned by the program. But we'll have all those numbers, and Barbara's working on it, and she's a super lady. I've worked with her several times, but she's certainly got her plate full right now with all the surrounding counties that they're trying to pick up and carry on as well. At least we've got till the end of the year.
Well, I just want to make sure that if we do it and we say the tax is going to go away, it's going to really sunset, because we've seen taxes too many times that we're going to sunset.
Well, this is something that the Quorum Court levies every single year. And so the Quorum Court will be in charge of that. And I don't see any reason that, we spell it out going in, that all we want for is to make that payment to build that facility, and then it goes away. And there's no reason to ask for any more than we absolutely have to have, just like we're doing with public safety. And Susan's getting it down to the penny to see what we gotta have.
I agree, Justice Anderson. We want to make sure that it sunsets. We don't need another. We'll make the promise when that comes up for that specific
That's
task.
the last thing we want to do, but I've looked everywhere and,
Right.
and when you find a no building, we certainly don't want to have the seniors going to have their activity day and HVAC that's 15 years old goes out. They can't have their activities because some of them travel from the village and, it would be certainly troubling, especially they have a congregate meal setting there as well. You have to have an area for that. And so I think there's roughly 160 usually that eat there. And then the rest are delivered and they're delivered county wide. It's a big project. It really is. And when you start feeding that many people,
And if you think about it, if we end up being able to build something exactly where you're talking about over there by the hospital for the Meals on Wheels, guess what? They can go get on the bypass, and because of pave it forward, they can head out to the village or they can head the other way. It's about the best you can do as far as
yeah,
that's
if we can get a direction that the court wants to go or the committee wants to go and then makes that suggestion to the court, I'll go sit down and start the process with CHI to see what we can do. Everybody happy with that?
Sounds like a plan. Committee, you ready? And Chairman Hunter, you ready to get this accomplished somewhere or another? I think we got it.
I know you needed something else to do too, Nubs. But you have a lot of experience with buildings too, and building.
That 350 sounds a little high considering the square footage and the openness, honestly. So I would hope it would come in 3 or under.
Harrison's been pretty fair with us he's done several bid jobs for us. As a matter of fact, he's the one working on the 70 West transfer station. They're the ones that did this job. The 70 West transfer station seems like it came in at 1.8. I think it's 1.8, and I think it's about 15,000 square feet. It's a big building, but it's got a lot of, as you know, it's got a lot of concrete work in it as well. It's got a lot of
Quite a
poured
bit more than
walls.
this building would have.
Yeah. But I'll get the information. I'll share it with y'all. As a matter of fact, I'll share it with the whole court as I get it. And then we come up with some ideas. And if you've got something you need me to check in, do let me know. But I'm spinning my wheels here, and I think more eyes and more hands will be much better on it. Okay, I've ran my mouth enough. I thought it would be a 15-minute meeting, and I've talked for 15 minutes.
Judge, since he's already adjourned, can we go home?
Yeah, I think we can.